Jay, 3 goals in 3 minutes, and the Leafs never looked back. How did you kind of assess that 3-minute stretch that turned the game?
Yeah, you know what, I'd even say it's probably the last 8 minutes of that period that not our finest hour. And certainly situations within our control. We thought we got away from playing simple. We tried to pass through people, and they're a good team. They have, good sticks, and I just saw a lot of self-inflicted wounds during that little time frame there.
When it came to the penalty calling in that game, how much did that take away from the rhythm of this game and maybe your team?
Yeah, it was a tough game to find some rhythm. There was a lot of 4-on-4 and coincidental penalties, the most I've seen. In the end, that's beyond our control. What is within our control is our level of execution when we do get on the ice. The fact that they were up in the power plays and stuff like that. I couldn't say that there was any penalty I disputed. Maybe there were a couple that weren't the other way, but I can't dispute it, and we got to do a better job on killing penalties too. So they won the special team battle, but all those things are beyond anybody's control. What we do control is our execution level, and it wasn't at a high enough level tonight.
Your momentum control. They get 1, they get 2, they get 3, they get 4. Somewhere you got to step in and stop that ball from rolling downhill.
Yeah, there's different ways to create momentum. Sometimes it's a forecheck shift. Sometimes it's a big finish check. Sometimes it's a block shot. Sometimes it's just guaranteeing your own blue line and taking a hit to make that play. There's different ways to create momentum other than waiting for a power play to get you going or anything like that. And that's something in that second period we didn't do a good enough job.
I want to ask you, the play that started this thing was McLeod tossing the puck right in front of the net to Marner. That's just a play you don't see in the NHL very often. What happens? How does that happen?
Young mistake. It was a young mistake. He'd be the first guy to own up for that and feel bad for it. In the end, hockey's a game of mistakes. And, our goal as a team is to make fewer than the other team and capitalize when they make theirs. Tonight they did a good job capitalizing on our self-inflicted wounds. That was one of them.
I think those types of errors are just proved to be too much to overcome because, it was a tie game even after the 2 errors, and then it just kept snowballing.
Well, I think we got the people that can get out of those circumstances. So even though we, made a few errors, we have to find a way to, as Mark was asking about, change some momentum there. I don't think we did a good enough job. They scored one, kind of a missed shot. It kind of gets to the neutral zone. We get our stick lifted. They get behind us 2-on-1. I thought we could play better. Those are things within our control. We weren't sharp enough tonight. Why that is, I'm not sure. We did build the 3-1 lead, and in those cases, even if you don't feel your best or you don't have your A+ stuff, you should still be able to find a way, to close that out. We expect more of ourselves. We're talking a lot here over the last little while of playing towards a standard, and I don't know if why that was tonight, but we made more errors than the other team, and they capitalized.
I was just going to say, all the more disappointing after the Boston game and even the first period, even the first half of this game. Really, does that make
this is the third time I think in 5 weeks or so that we've come to the East Coast and gone back. We've played some good games, and then we've played some forgettable ones. To me, I thought this one was a game that we could have done better with. But we made too many mistakes, and when you make mistakes against teams that can hurt you, you're made to pay. And tonight we were made to pay, and they found a way to get the 2 points, and we're looking forward to going home.
Going back to that play by McLeod as his head coach and the leadership team on that bench, what do you say to a young player who's trying to find his way and makes a mistake on the ice?
You know what? Like I said, no one feels worse about that play than Ryan McLeod. He knows, so it's not coming to the bench and getting an earful. It's about resetting himself and trying to find a way to have an impact on his next shift. And, you know, I think nobody on our team points the finger because they know that there's other fingers pointing back if that happens, right? And I think that's the hallmark of a good team is people who stick together, win or lose. We made too many young mistakes tonight, and in the end it cost us, and we didn't find the win. But we're going to stick together, we're going to learn from it, and have a good practice next week as we prepare for Ottawa.